So obviously the two teams in the Super Bowl. We've talked about the last 4 times of playing them, beating them, going back to 2014, the last time they beat us. Chiefs undefeated, 5-0, coming off a bye week. Niners are 3-3, coming off a mini bye. They played the Thursday night game last week against the Seahawks. But, there's a lot of new faces in this game. Or I guess you can say old faces for us with Juju and Kareem Hunt, but a lot of new faces based on who was playing in that Super Bowl. No Rashee Rice, no CMC, and no Pacheco. And obviously no Hollywood Brown, our new addition. But for obvious reasons, 49ers, they're 500. And right now, CMC, and that's kind of the big one for them. He was pretty much like 30% of their offense last year, something ridiculous. But they've managed to be 3-3, still ahead of their division right now without CMC kind of weathering the storm. Mason has been a bright spot for them though. He's come out and looked great, and also a lot of people saying it could be a system over there in San Francisco, but CMC's good. It's not a system, I would say. But JD, we were 5-0. We win this game, we're 6-0. Big confidence. It's yet another test that we've passed. Beat Baltimore, beat Cincinnati, and then you beat the team that's the top dog in the NFC. So it's a huge game for us in that respect. But for them, like we talked about, they're 3-3. They win this game, they're over 500. They're also, avenging a Super Bowl loss and being one of the last 2 undefeated teams in the league.
Yeah.
Who needs this game, or who's this game bigger for between the two teams?
Who's it bigger for? I don't know. I don't know if it's the right question. If it's bigger for one, okay, it's definitely bigger for San Fran. Okay, because without CMC, they wanted to see if they can try to continue doing, making wins and whatnot. How they're going to be able to respond with these things going on. Look, they're 3-3, but the teams that they've beat, Patriots. The Rams. You know what I mean? Like, we start looking at the teams that they've been playing and they've beaten. Seahawks. That's what you pretty much got. That's what you pretty much got. So, I think San Fran, they're a good team. They're a good team. They're going to come in and just kind of what people were talking about here on this in the chat, talking about Wanye, what's Bosa going to do against our left tackle. We got a game plan against Bosa. And so I'm sure what we're going to do is we're going to find out where he is on the defense, okay, as we should. And if guys need to give a chip, we're going to make sure we're on chip going out. That's going to be one rule. And so, like, Kittle was sitting there talking about getting 4 hands on CJ. We're going to do the same thing with Bosa. We do the exact same thing with Bosa. Our safeties will come down. Somebody said Shamari Kama is going to be a guy to be able to cover him. Reed's going to cover him. Our linebackers are going to be able to cover him. We're going to bring a lot of blitz against Brock Purdy. We're going to put our guys, our corners, we're going to make them hold up. And I think they will. They're going to do a good job. But we're going to mix it up. We're definitely going to mix it up so they can never get comfortable knowing what we're going to do. But Kittle said the same thing. He said, look, we have not seen a defense like this. And they haven't this entire year. And they know it. They know it. And so even though we haven't had, the boistering of the sacks, Marcus, we're a damn good defensive football team. And everybody understands exactly what we do on that side of the ball. So that's going to be an exciting thing, that matchup in itself, their offense against our defense, and without CMC, what is that going to look like, right? And so that's a good thing. Now, offensively against their defense is going to be another thing, right? We sit there and said that Fred Warner, we know they got Bosa and all this. Look, run the football is something. There we go, G-Pick. Kareem would chip the hell out of him and then bust the screen on him, definitely. But also, too, we're going to hand the ball off to Kareem and let him go hit his head on the goalpost. That's what we're going to do. That's the game plan. Hand the football off. Somebody said it, 13, 14 personnel, tight ends, wide receivers, get the ball in the hands of the playmakers and let them go play ball. Okay? Make sure you come and tackle. Now, look, Fred Warner has been an absolute dog on dislodging balls out, man. He's been absolutely incredible. on doing that. He's coming in, punching the ball, ripping it out. We got to make sure, man, we protect the football. That's going to be one of our things. When we get into the keys of victory, I'm going to have it up here when we get there on Friday, Marcus, talking about the dungeon. We're going to talk about the keys to victory. And one thing we got to do, make sure against this team is we got to get turnovers, and we got to make sure we protect the football. We got to protect the football. So once we do that, man, we're going to be fine. I think during the bye week, we figured some things out, what we're going to do scheme-wise going against not just San Fran, but also this leading up through the rest of the season. But hey, man, these guys going to be ready. They're going to be ready. It's going to be two good teams going at it. Two good teams going at it. I still could see us coming out 6-0. That's what I see. That after they lose the game, San Fran loses this game, they're going to have to do some soul searching. Okay, figure out. Well, we may not be as good as we think we are. Okay, and we need to get CMC back soon. But we're looking for, as far as we're going for numbers. What you saying? Is that what you want? You want the for the game?
Oh, are you want your predictions now?
Yeah, are we doing predictions? Well, we just talk about scheme wise.
We were just talking scheme wise there, but we get predictions if you want to get predictions.
All right.
Are we talking scheme or are we talking predictions, JD?
Well, scheme. Pretty much that's what our scheme is going to be. And so we know. Look, Shanahan and Andy know each other really well. We know what they do offensively, and it's just going to be, not being predictable. We just can't be predictable against those guys. So Shanahan's going to pull everything out, man. He's a very talented coach. But like I said, man, these guys, we're going to be ready. We're going to be ready. So I can't wait, man. I cannot wait. So
just looking at their numbers, just overall, like San Francisco's very middle of the pack. It's not what we've seen in the past from them. The team we played last year, it's not the same. And year to year things change, but it's just not the same defense. I mean, like they're middle of the pack as far as like passing yards allowed, rushing yards allowed per game. They're allowing 100 yards on the ground a game, JD, and that's we were going against relentless Kareem Hunt coming up here. That's a recipe for disaster for them. Allowing about 22 points a game, and we're allowing just a difference there. We're allowing 17 points a game. So I mean, like, yeah, and then you lose to Arizona. I know everyone's making a big deal about the Arizona loss, but JD, you can talk to attest to this. It's a little different when you're playing in the division. Division games are just sometimes you throw out the record because the teams know each other so well. And I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this isn't the same San Francisco team because they lost to Arizona." It's division. It's different.
I mean, Arizona, Rams, you lose to those two teams. Rams, they're trying to find their identity,
Yep.
And so, they beat the Jets, they beat the Patriots, and then they beat the Seahawks. That's the three teams they beat, right? Yep. None of those teams are bar burners anyway.
No.
Seahawks is kind of, but when I watched them against, I guess it was against 49ers, they look horrible. Gino was struggling.
I know.
My guy that I have on my fantasy, he was struggling too. Metcalf running bad routes.
He had a touchdown at the end of the game, but they call it back for holding, I believe.
Yeah, it was holding. But he ran that one where Gino threw the pick, and he got to get friendly. Come down, man. And I don't know what he was running. Post. I don't know if it was like a basic, middle read. I don't know what it was he was running. But he sure did fool Gino on that. Because we were kind of talking about it. But it just ain't look like they had that too much heart that game either. It didn't look good at all.
Yeah, I mean, the big takeaway from that game is they beat Seattle at Seattle. Seattle's also been dealing with some injuries on the D line. They looked great to start the season out, but they've been dealing with some injuries on the D line, which is kind of their the thing. And they got gashed. It was fill in the blank as far as who's a running back for San Francisco last week.
Oh yeah, you ain't kidding. Randy Conley said DK always struggles on fantasy. Randy, that joker gets me every year. I try to avoid getting that DK Metcalf, and he always. I'm like, you know what? God, let me go on and get him. because he might do it, but he does. He struggles every single year. Me and my nephew talk about it because me both have him.
Come on, baby, go. Yes. That's a first down. That's a first down. This football season, I'll be putting down normal sodas like Coca-Cola for Olipop. Olipop offers a healthier alternative with its low sugar content and natural ingredients. Olipop is more than just a drink. It's a wellness companion that supports your digestive health. Packed with prebiotics, this fizzy elixir helps promote good bacteria in your gut, leading to improved digestion and overall well-being. So go ahead, click the link in the description and use promo code SODALOVE and get your can of Olipop so you can enjoy the game guilt-free. Go Chiefs. Use the promo code SODALOVE for 15% off now.
On our fantasy, and I'm just like, he's sitting down this week. He sitting, he having a seat.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and they will face, I think they're the only team this year to face both the undefeated teams. So they played Minnesota, lost Minnesota, and now they're playing us. So they get to face another undefeated squad. So that'll be interesting to see. But JD, we got game predictions and some really interesting stats in this one. So obviously, the Niners host the Chiefs Sunday, 4:25 Eastern Standard Time. It's the Fox game, and I believe what I saw online earlier, every region will have this game as a 4:25 game on Sunday. Obviously, it's a big one. Chiefs are a 1.5 point underdog. So I have three numbers here. So we got Andy Reid is 21-4 following a bye week. So 21-4 following a bye week. Patrick Mahomes is 11-1-1 against the spread as an underdog. And he's 10-3 just straight up as an underdog.
Okay.
So it's not bet against Patrick Mahomes when it comes to being an underdog. But again, so yeah. So Chiefs are a 1.5 point dog at San Francisco on Sunday at 4:25. JD, who do you have in this game, and what's the score?
Oh. Okay. So obviously it's going to be a hard game. They're in San Fran. We understand that. Going behind enemy lines, they're going to try to utilize this as, a revenge game, okay, against the Chiefs. And if it's more of the announcers doing it, Tom Brady's going to say he's going to bring it up. They lost in the Super Bowl, but it doesn't really mean anything. But, to some people, it does. And so Nick Bosa is one of those guys. It means something to him, okay? So he's going to come out, man, fired up. He's going to come out fired up. For one of those guys, too. Like I said, everybody's giving our praises and giving us our flowers, patting us on our back. And, hey, man, we really hope we beat the Chiefs. They're going to come out there like thunder. So I do believe, though, the Chiefs are going to be ready. We're rested, had a bye week. And it's always, man, that bye week is always, you start out slow. You really do. Because you're trying to get back into the whole swinging thing with practice. Your body's feeling a bit better. I think we'll start clicking when we need to, probably second quarter, third and fourth, getting to where we need to get to. I have us going 27 to 24. It's going to be my score. 27-24.
Big Kareem Hunt game?
Yeah, definitely. I see Kareem probably getting about 111 yards.
Total yards or just rushing yards?
Rushing.
Damn.
Yeah.
I like that.
He's once he get to the second level, that's the thing about it. Like I said, man, he don't come down that early and easy. Obviously getting to the linebacker is going to be the thing to make sure. But I do believe it's going to be some hard sledding, some hard runs, open up the thing. So I think he might have a 100-yard game, Marcus. I do. I think when you come back, uh, that's who you got to. That's who you got to. That's who you got to ride, man. Ride and shoot. Ride your bull coming in town. That's what you got to do, right? So he's ready to eat. G Pick says LL Kareem is back on track, baby. That dude wants it. Yes, he does. And he's like, look, I got room. Y'all get on top. Come on. I got room. He's gonna like, look, Kelsey, hey, Pat, y'all been carrying these guys for years. Y'all think now it's time for me to go ahead and put some on my shoulders. And I do believe he's gonna have a good time out there. He's gonna have a good time.
Well, and also talk about like the break aspect. Bye week's great, but like he was coming. This is a guy who has barely played. He came right off the couch into getting 15 carries and then 27 carries the following game. So it's like he definitely used that break, and rested nicely in an ice bath for hopefully a couple days after that game. But I mean, now he's fresh. He's fresh, ready to rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. So how many yards did Williams have against them with the Rams?
Kyron.
Yeah.
Kyron smoked him, if I remember correctly.
Let me see.
All right, 24 for 89 and 2 touchdowns.
Okay. All right.
Yards per carry, not so good, but
yeah, but that's 24 carries, right?
Yeah.
He's toting that thing. And I'm sure he got toward the end. Go ahead.
And he had 2 catches for 27 yards and a touchdown. So we had 3 total touchdowns in that game.
We got to let the running backs eat, man. Let Kareem Hunt eat. Let him eat. Let him eat. It'll be a good game for him. It'll be a good game. So.
Yeah, so you 24-27 Chiefs. So you had it slightly over the total points for the game. Total points 47 points on Bet Online. 47.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So slightly over that.
Okay.
And I believe it's the 4th or about top 10 highest scoring game of the weekend. There's a lot of high scoring games this weekend based on the total points. Yeah, man. Vegas has this game being ridiculous. This weekend being ridiculously high scoring. Wow. Yeah, 47. Couple weeks ago would have been the highest scoring game of the weekend, but now it's like the 10th highest scoring game of the weekend.
Huh. Okay.
Do you think CH gets a lot of burn in this game?
Not a lot of burn. He'll get some. I don't know what a lot is, but this is why I like the rotation. Figuring this thing out, like I said, is going to take how do we utilize these guys? CEH is coming back. Okay. Put that on a check that out. How are we going to do this? We got the 4 tight ends. Okay. How are we going to incorporate those guys into this scheme? We know we got Kareem Hunt. Okay. Juju Worthy, right? McCole Hardman. So they're going to make sure they divvy it up. And it's got to be a pulse, a tone to what they do. They have to for this thing to work. And I think they'll figure it out. So CH is going to get some. He's going to get some looks for sure.
Defensively, you think Karlaftis has a big game? Chris Jones, big game? Anybody on defense that you think could have a big game based on the way they play? I think Bold's gonna have a really big game as far as tackles wise. I could definitely see that because I mean they run that thing about 30 times a game, so I could see him having a big game as far as that.
I could see CJ having a big game. Because he just shoot. I think sometimes defensive players don't want to be shown up. And so he's going to make sure if Bosa goes out there, tries to do a few things, CJ's going to be like, hey, I'm the guy in the league. Okay. That everybody needs to fear, not necessarily Bosa. So I think it's a little bit of that competition that's going to play out some too. So we're going to see CJ have a masterful game, man. I think he's going to have a monster game. So, and I think we're going to do a pretty decent job against Kittle. I really do. They would do a good job against Kittle.
We dominated Kittle in that Super Bowl. I don't think he did anything in that game.
Yeah.
Spags has a recipe to against the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah. The one we got to look out for is always that sneaky, what's it, a use check?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hushek does always have a big play against us whenever we play him.
Always, man. That's the something we got to watch. Watch him. So now we do it, man. We gonna win this handily. We're gonna win this handily.
Yeah. I like where your head's at, JD. We did one more comment before we get out of here. Gary Holland did ask a question about will Worthy have a good game?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's what we're going to see a little bit more of, like trying to get Worthy to football. And this will be a good game to really to let him shine. Okay, young fella, man, he's shoot bottles out of his mouth. He's done off the Similac. He's eating real food now. So he's eating real food, baby. We giving him. We. You want a full plate? You got it. Let's give Worthy a full plate. See what he can do. So, I think we got to go that route. Give him some looks too, man. Go deep on it. Throw some balls to him. Hey, take the passy out.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.